How do the science of dopamine and what key psychological factor influences our motivation? And how can we keep ourselves motivated by applying this principle? And in today's video, I'm going to share all these insights with you. Hi, my name is Amrit and welcome to my YouTube channel. Motivation may sound and feel like a complete mystery. Someday you are really pumped up and feel like you have a lot of energy to do anything, but someday you are completely drained and feel like you have no energy left behind to do anything. So what really motivation is? If you pause and reflect in this question, and if you think of the moment when you feel motivated, you might have sensed that you felt a lot of energy inside of you that triggers you to take action, to fulfill your goal or desire. So to say this in the simple word, motivation is basically the energy that you feel inside of you that triggers you to take action. And now, once we have understand the motivations, why it really fluctuates, to understand this, we have to look into the neuroscience of dopamine reward system in our brain. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a special type of chemical that is released in our brain when you achieve something or even when you desire to achieve something. This chemical is released in our brain. And when this chemical is released in our brain, dopamine will help us to feel happy and satisfied. And we feel motivated and doing things again and again from where we get the dopamine release into our brain. When I was in school, I do remember when I was getting good grade in my class, I used to get a lot of appreciation from my teachers. And I was feeling more motivated at that point. And now I do understand that it was the effect of the dopamine. I want to get that same effect of the dopamine every time. And in order to achieve that dopamine effect, I was focusing my time to study well so that I can have the same effect again and again. However, it was not always possible. There was a time when I was not able to get a good grades and I used to feel demotivated. But you see, in this situation, the motivation is linked to the external reward system. So every time I was getting appreciation, I feel motivated to study well. But when I was not getting good grades, I used to feel demotivated. But this raises the question, is there only the external reward system that motivates us, or is there something else? And in order to understand this, we have to look into the psychology of motivations, which talks about the intrinsic motivation. Famous psychologists Richard Ryan and Edward Deci came up with the self-determination theory, who identified there the three psychological needs that will help us keep intrinsically motivated. These are the first one, autonomy, the second, competence, and the third, relatedness. You might have sensed that you enjoy doing things when you have taken the decision to do something by yourself rather than someone forcing you to do something. And you might also feel more motivated in doing things that you really enjoy and that you are skillful at. And also when you sense that your work is adding value to the people around you and you feel sense of belonging to the group. These all factors influences on how we are intrinsically motivated. So final question is, how do we keep ourselves motivated? I'm going to share with you 5 key principles that you can apply into your life to keep yourself motivated. So the first key principle is practice self-reflection and self-compassion. And the biggest way to self-reflect ourselves is to ask why you do what you do, any task. And when the task is aligned with your deeper values, it boosts your intrinsic motivations. It is also important to practice self-compassion because motivation is not a straight line. It has ups and downs. And self-compassion helps to build resilience. It will help you to stay strong when you face setback. And the second principle is to break down complex large tasks into the smaller achievable tasks. And when you complete this task, embrace those small wins because that will help to kick your brain reward system and release a dopamine that will make you feel happy and satisfied and help you keep motivated. And the third principle is foster autonomy. Build and surround yourself in an environment where you feel freedom in choosing and doing things that resonates with your passion and deeper values, because eventually it will help to boost your intrinsic motivation. And the fourth principle is cultivate competence, which is basically meaning to say becoming good at what you really enjoy and passionate about. When you really work in improving your skill and become more competent, it will help to boost your intrinsic motivations, and that will help you keep going forward. And the fifth principle is relatedness. The more you feel you are relatable to the wider community, the more you feel intrinsically motivated. Think of this as any task that you do, is it just related to yourself, or the task has effect into the wider community, and whether that task is going to add more value. If it is going to add more value, then you'll feel more relatable, and that way it will help to boost your intrinsic motivation. I hope you have enjoyed this video and have been able to take some of the messages that you can apply in your life that will help you keep motivated. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do like, share and subscribe. That will help me keep motivated in making this kind of videos. I'm signing off for now. Until then, see you in the next video.